What's up with it, fam? Thank you for tuning in to RG3 TV with B.Y.O.B. Bring your own Bible. It's the only way you get it for yourself. Let's get this word. God was dealing with me some after the aftermath of the Mother's Day weekend. Literally dealing with the women in our life, the queens in our life, coming from 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 6, and I'm paraphrasing. Scripture says, and her rival provoked her severely, making her life miserable because the Lord had closed her wound. If I was to take a thought, I would literally talk about provoked on purpose. I want to talk to a couple of people. Literally, things around you are provoking you and aggravate you, from your jobs to your associate, and even sometimes your superiors on your job. It's literally just aggravating you and provoking you. But I want to tell you that you're being provoked on purpose. God is pushing you into purpose. Now, it's okay to be 15, 16 and not knowing your purpose. But when you hit the age of 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, you should know why you're here. God has a designated purpose for all of us in our lives. I was arguing with someone the other day and telling them that I'm not here just for a retirement. I'm not just here just to have a career, but I'm here to have a relationship with God, and that's the reason why I'm here on earth. I'm not chasing retirement. I'm not chasing a relationship. I'm not chasing a religion. I'm chasing God and to be in fellowship with God. And when I understand that, I put things in perspective and I don't let things frustrate me to the point that I give up on God. I say this all the time. Watch this. You could tweet this, text this, tell somebody that I simply says this: don't let your faith, watch this now, be fractured by your frustration. In other words, don't let your frustration fracture your faith. And sometimes what we allow to happen, the pressure of life, to cause so much pressure that it literally causes us to forfeit what God want to do in our life. But I want to challenge you today, just like Hannah, you got to understand that your pain, watch this, that you're going through is literally, it's moving you into purpose and it's moving you into the plan of God. A couple of things I want to show you in Hannah. Now it's okay, watch this now. The first thing that she has a personal problem. Here it is, her wound is closed. She can't give birth. That's personal, but it become public because now her husband is still able to have kids with P9. And this woman keep giving birth, and every time she give birth, it's a, watch this, public symbol of her private struggle. It's okay sometimes to battle with something private, but it's something totally different when what you have privately become public. I want to talk to somebody who was cool when you were struggling and were behind the scene, but all of a sudden now it became public that you had problems. Let me make it plain for you. It's just like having no money in the bank. You know it, but then everybody else don't know it. But then when you use your card and they bring your card back and tell you your card declined, now your problem just was private when public. You're talking to me. It's okay that you're creeping and that you're sleeping around, but you didn't get caught. Watch this now. But when the problem become private to public, when she tell you that she a couple of weeks late, and here it is now, you got a baby on the way. So now something that's private have became public, and now you got pressure that's in your life, and you trying to balance what it is that God told you, balance with the pressure of something that went public. I want to encourage you today to tell you that your public problem is literally going to push you into your purpose. So the first thing I want you to understand when we deal with this, pushing you into your purpose, is pushing you into your destiny and assignment that God has on your life. Not only do it push you into your purpose, also you need to understand that Hannah pain provoked her to pursue purpose. So it's pushing her into a purpose, but also it provoked her to pursue. One of the things I learned when you're in law enforcement, when you begin to pursue, you throw everything else out the window. They call it tunnel vision because you lock in on what it is you're chasing. Now red lights don't matter, stop sign don't matter. It's because now you're in high pursuit of what it is that you believe. I want to talk to some people. It's time to break some rules. It's time to get out there. It's time to step out on the faith and pursue what it is that God told you and what it is that you know that God has given you to give birth to. Not only should you understand that Hannah was provoked to have passion for a purpose, Hannah was provoked to pursue her purpose. Hannah was also provoked with her pain into prayer, because prayer is the vehicle that's going to help you give birth to what it is that God called you to do. Now, when you understand this, prayer is the key, because prayer is communication with the person that gave you purpose in the first place. Why are you trying to figure out by yourself? He's the one that gave you the purpose. He's the one that gave you the destiny. Go back to him, because he got the answer to your question. Hannah, begin to talk. Chapter 1, verse 20. She rededicated her baby to the Lord. Here it is, God bless her, and she give her baby back to the Lord. The baby name is Samuel. Samuel's name means God heard her. Oh, I want to help somebody with this. God heard you. That's past tense, letting you know that he heard you the first time. And some people, you getting frustrated because you have not received a response from God. But little did you know, even though you have not heard a verbal response or you don't have evidence in your hand, I want to tell you today that he heard you the first time. And when he heard you the first time, your prayers were answered. So don't think just because it's been delayed that you've been denied. He heard you. He heard you. Are you listening to me? He heard you. And I want to prophesy to many sisters that are struggling with fertility issues and the doctor have gave you a bad report. I speak this all your life. God heard you. Yeah, he's provoking you on purpose. Yeah, I know the doctor told you what can't happen, but I want to tell you we serve a God that can do the impossible. He can make the impossible possible. God heard you. You've been provoked on purpose. B.Y.O.B. Thank you for being connected.